at 10.
Oi mate, there's you.
I believe it is.
Wicked. You coaching football. You are a legend for doing something so stupid. I mean, it's mental. They're gonna murder you.
Apple TV Plus had an early hit on its hands and have won Emmys galore for Ted Lasso, the show about an American football coach who comes to the UK to coach a football team. But of course, football in England is soccer. Hilarity ensues. This very kind-hearted, sweet and funny show is one that actually spun off from a series of promos that were on NBC Sport for their coverage of the Premier League. You probably didn't know that. Well, you do now.
Practicing the law, you don't go on instinct. You wait, you listen, and watch.
If you are a fan of legal drama and you are a fan of spin-offs, then you can put the two together at number 9 and park your car there and take a look at The Good Fight, which is of course a spin-off of The Good Wife, but it's nothing to do with The Good Life. That's something else.
What did it feel like after you'd beaten Cortez?
Feel? I didn't have time to feel anything.
If you lived in the 1990s, then you have certainly seen Xena, the Warrior Princess. This was a massive sensation of a show in the fantasy genre, but just generally. Starring Lucy Lawless, this is a programme that span off from Hercules, the legendary journey. And in fact, Xena was a relatively small part and was only intended apparently to be in that series for a couple of episodes. But then she was the star of a show that would eclipse the original.
We do things a certain way in LA. I keep my name out of the paper, and I don't make waves. And in return, I can do anything I want.
Can you fly?
If there was a show that was bigger than Xena the Warrior Princess in the 90s, it was of course Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And people wanted more Buffy, so they made Angel, which isn't more Buffy exactly, but it is more of Angel.
Daria, just once, why can't you smile when somebody takes your picture?
I don't like to smile unless I have a reason.
A smart satire on high school life, Daria the animation is in fact a spin-off from Mike Judge's groundbreaking Beavis and Butthead. This is a show that will have you back in touch with your cynical side and remind you that you might once have been part of the MTV generation.
Run! Run! Jump! Jump! Rest! Rest! Now, I know we've had a rough day, but I'm sure we can put all that behind us.
The longest running animated series and the longest running American sitcom, The Simpsons, have brought Marge, Homer, Lisa, Bart and Maggie into our lives for over 30 years. But in the late 1980s, this was a show that actually started its life as short segments on The Tracy Ullman Show. It's the ultimate spin-off in many ways. It has gone on to become a world-beating series that seems to go on and on and on.
They let you escape with an arsenal of worthless secrets. What other explanation is there?
Permission to withdraw from the neutral zone.
At your earliest convenience, number one.
Although there have been many different parts to the Star Trek franchise over the years, Star Trek The Next Generation feels like the spiritual first live-action spin-off and possibly the best. I know that's controversial. This is a show that has armies of fans all over the world and ran from the 1980s into the 1990s and took Star Trek into a new universe of excitement for fans across the globe.
Don't you ever wonder how long you can survive before you go mad or get killed or lose a loved one?
It's worth the risk to protect people.
And who protects us?
As if it wasn't exciting enough for Doctor Who fans in 2005 that Doctor Who was back on our screens after such a long time away. Then Russell T Davies created Torchwood a year later, a spin-off which, if you rearrange the letters of Doctor Who, well, that's what it spells, that tells the story of a small group of alien hunters who are Cardiff-based. This went on to run for 4 seasons and is one that people always ask, can they bring it back, please?
What are you still doing with that? I thought you were going to return it.
They wouldn't take it back. All I got was some attitude and a cheap glass of wine. Loire Valley my ass.
What are you going to do now?
Well, they forced my hand. I'm going to call the police.
555-3000.
Thanks, Dad.
Is Frasier actually better than Cheers? Well, I don't want to get involved in that debate right now, but leave in the comments below whether you think Frasier or Cheers are better, or in fact, are they both just as good? Either way, this is a spin-off that will have you laughing all the way to the, I don't know, a place where you laugh a lot.
All right. The next words out of your mouth ought to be the truth. Who are you?
Vince Gilligan's masterpiece, Breaking Bad, is, I think it's fair to say, one of the greatest dramas of the modern era, and therefore it was with great apprehension that many approached the idea of a prequel being made in the form of Better Call Saul, especially one that would concentrate on the kind of comedic character of the lawyer in Breaking Bad. However, Vince Gilligan answered his critics with one of the best spin-offs ever made, a layered, exciting, interesting, and nuanced drama that will have you gripped from beginning to end. This is a spin-off that deserves to be at the top of the spin-offs because it's just fantastic.